Hello everyone, so I've got a fun little video for you today that I'm sure is not going to perform well, but who cares, I'm doing it anyway. So for this one, the idea is I want to construct a Fate fighting game. I've been planning this for a while, also planning to do a collaboration with a certain other YouTuber who I have collaborated with before on their channel but not on mine. So now you guys get to be introduced to this person who makes some pretty good Shao Kahn and Albert Wesker related content. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh no, he watched my terrible Wesker video. Hey guys, my name is It's Official. Some of you might have heard of me already. We probably chatted in the Discord before if you have. I mostly do Shao Kahn related content because he's my all-time favorite Mortal Kombat character. But this is not what we are here to talk about today. We're here to talk about Fate, which means I'm going to harp on and on and on about Gilgamesh.
Because a fun little thing we've noticed is that for some reason, your favourite MK character is Shao Kahn, mine is Sindel. Your favourite Fate character is Gilgamesh, mine is Artoria. There are several similarities between those two pairs of characters. It's rather amusing.
Especially the toxicity of their relationship.
Relationship. I mean,
quote unquote.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the Fate story where Artoria's like, yes, sorry Shiro, I was in love with Gilgamesh the whole time.
The based route, sorry.
And actually, I think in the existing Fate fighting game, back when the franchise was just Stay Night and Zero was on the way.
Fate Unlimited Codes.
And yeah, I think in Gilgamesh's ending, he actually uses the Grail to corrupt Saber and start turning her into Saber Alter. And it's like, Shao Kahn Sindel, this seems familiar.
Yeah, slight difference there though, actually, and a little fun tidbit. I don't know if you know this, but actually in that ending, I know way too much about this. In that ending, it was like a different kind of version of Saber Alter because I don't think normal like Saber Alter would have been submissive to him. But in this particular version, she was, and as soon as that happened, he found her boring. So he was like, okay, I'll put up with this until I don't want to anymore.
See, that could make for an interesting dynamic for Shao and Sindel. But we're getting off topic. We should try and actually get into this. We've already been recording for several minutes. So the way I'm planning to structure this is, for those who don't know, in Fate there are certain classes for the servants, these summoned figures from history and mythology. There are 7 cardinal classes that will appear in pretty much every Fate story. Then you have some bonus classes, and then there's also the master characters who summon these figures. And so my idea is, imagine a fighting game where the roster consists of 4 servants from each of the 7 cardinal classes, plus 2 other characters from the other classes. I mean, if you're picking the ones that were the most popular, you know exactly which 2 characters would go there, but we'll see later. And then the 2 master characters who are not servants, but are mages who will fight alongside them. You also have the little no category for the ones we've decided are not going to make the roster. There won't be many characters that will just get chronicled into that slot immediately, but there will be some.
So, just so I'm clear, this is going to help me determine who I would want to see in the fighting game. What's the general idea, like, setting-wise? Is it, like, FGO-based, Fate Stay Night, plus these guys, or...?
Pretty much just whatever. It doesn't really matter too much.
It matters to me because it's going to help me figure out who I would actually want to see in the fighting game. Because, like, for example, if the game is, like, Stay Night based, I'm obviously going to be geared more towards the actual cast from Fate Stay Night and probably Fate Zero, like Unlimited Codes was.
We'll just say Grand Order broadly, so it's just whoever you want to be in there. The only stipulations I have are we want to have some variety in the characters, so we don't want to have too many very similar characters. No individual figure can appear twice, so we can't have, say... I would love to have all the versions of Artoria just fill in the roster.
Actually, that gives me an idea.
I'm sure you'd want to have all the Gilgameshes.
Actually, no.
It's like, we're not going to do that.
Actually, no. I don't like Child Gil.
Okay.
He's too not Gil.
No characters who are too similar. Want to have some variety in the playstyles and the characters' appearances and whatnot. No multiple versions of the same figure, even though you could look at, say, classic Artoria and Artoria Lancer as very different characters. It's still Artoria at the end of the day, so at most they could be costumes. So, you might want to have Lancer as a costume for the Saber version. That's fine. But I'm aiming for 4 individual characters for each class, and maybe a Premier skin for 1 character in each class. Because let's be honest, there are certain characters who have to be there. We have to have Artoria Saber.
I'm not going to argue that whatsoever.
Like, she's the face of the franchise, one of the most popular characters, the best character.
As far as I'm concerned, there's 2 absolutes for the Archer class. Archer and Gilgamesh. But there's an argument that could be made that we could put Archer in the other class based on Fate Extra CCC, where he's just Gilgamesh class Gilgamesh. If we do that, that gives us 3 options for Archer.
Here's Archer Gilgamesh, yes?
Get that fuck out of there. That's going in the unreadable slot.
Because something I realised while I think about this whole concept is, well, not only the fact there are a lot of characters, I'm struggling to find them. When you really look at the iconic characters who have to be there aren't many characters from Stay Night who wouldn't be there. Like, if you're going to have a Lancer, you have to have Ku. You can't not have Ku. And so there's like 2 or 3 characters from Stay Night who aren't mandatory, like they have to be there. There's a few, but for the most part, it's like the Stay Night cast.
Saber Alter could easily be an alternate skin, maybe recolor the attacks as well.
Yeah, I think that's how some fighting games do it. I think Natural Plus Blasters did it. I think that and Melty Blood, I think both did that. But Natural Plus was cooler because it also had a Mordred colour palette. But unfortunately, other fighting appearances are not as based. Nero looks exactly like Artoria. She'd make it a good colour or outright costume or a premier skin. But as an individual character, you can't really have both.
I would consider her mandatory. She's literally the protagonist of Fate Extra, and yeah, she looks like her, but they fight very differently. It's not as obvious when you've only really seen her in extra content as a recolor. Her and Artoria are 2 very different fighters.
Yeah, but considering the small size of the roster...
Yeah, it's like, 4 each?
Yeah, so you want to have something a bit more varied. It's the same reason why... I mean, if you're looking at purely on popularity, I'm sure it would be Artoria, Nero, Mordred, and probably Ukta or Altera or something like that. And right there, like, 2 of them are going to have very similar fighting styles because they are parent and child. And then you have, like, Nero, who is similar to Omni-Man and Homelander. While they are actually quite different in how they fight, there is going to be a kind of instant resentment. People are going to look at that and go, well, these characters are way too similar. Yeah,
like the innumerable amount of sword fighters in Smash.
Yeah.
Looking at you, a Fire Emblem verse having more characters than Zelda.
Yeah, that is really shocking. So I feel like you do want to have some good variety. We might come back around and put Nero in. They'll put here just as a possible reminder to come back and slaughter him. But I think it's probably going to end up with different characters. So let's try and add 1 character per class. Any casters you think would be really good picks?
Casters that particularly stand out? That's honestly kind of tough. I watched your Fate videos before. I don't remember, but I think you classified one of the classes as essentially the dumping ground class, where if you don't know where to put a servant, you put them in that class.
That one is Assassin.
Okay. Yeah, I actually disagree with that. I think that the dumping ground class is caster. It literally goes to anybody who's ever created something. They have musicians in the caster class because they created music.
I feel like Medea is one of those where she's almost a must-have.
Yeah, I'm struggling to say it though because it really is almost.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't help that the screen for me right now is really blurry. I'm trying to like make out the outlines.
Yeah.
I could say Merlin, but that's so easy, and I'm not sure I would even want him in there at all, to be honest.
Well, that's kind of another thing, is we don't want to have too many from one source. There are plenty of great characters from the Arthurian era in this series, and Merlin is is a bit of a standout one, thanks to FGO and whatnot, but...
That's facts.
Again, you do want to have a nice variety. Same with why you don't want to have too many characters from any given Fate story. You don't want to be just all the Stay Night characters getting in straight away, or...
That's facts.
Imagine if it was all the Apocrypha characters, and it's like, well, that's just half the roster for this one story.
That's facts.
And a bunch of those characters were not wins. There are some characters like Frankenstein who are great, but then you get characters like, I saw him before, that guy with the golden mask. Him.
Yeah, the golem guy.
This guy, or the absolute worst one. Ha ha ha. Kill the oppressors. Ha ha, that is my character. Ha ha ha, oppressors die.
He was a berserker though,
I don't remember his name. Spartacus, that was it.
Yeah.
Fran's great. I would like to include Fran in this.
In berserker category? She is pretty popular. I think it would fit to put her there. I won't argue with that.
I feel like the 2 best picks for berserker are good old Frankenstein and, of course, Lancelot.
Not Hercules.
Honestly, no. I feel like, at least to me, he's not as well developed and doesn't have as strong a concept. He's just a big dude with the club who just can't die, which is somewhat hard to translate into a fighting game while being fair.
That's fair. Yeah, regarding casters, I'm really having a hard time. Is Nitocris a caster?
Ooh, that's a good one. I assume so.
I
don't.
Oh my god.
Know where she is.
She's right there. Tamamo.
Oh, of course.
We're both idiots.
That's very true. Very true.
We are
I'm glad you noticed.
we are so stupid. Oh my god.
Like, yeah, here's the iconic characters and whatnot. We just talked quite at length about Nero, her eternal rival, the blue caster, which we completely forgot.
Which, by the way, it is hilarious now how in our fan roster, Tamamo is a staple and Nero isn't.
Oh, Nero would be pissed.
Tamamo won.
You know what's really tragic?
What's that?
All 3 of the extra CCC servants you can use are in here, but not the one who's the face of that franchise.
Oh my god.
Oh no. She has to settle for being a recolor for Artoria.
What have we done? It could be like an Echo Fighter thing, but like the way it actually should have been done, where it's an alternate skin, but it changes the name and maybe the dialogue and stuff like that.
Yeah, I say we can imagine that's what the Premier skins are. So one for each class, and that is an Echo Fighter-ish. That's probably the better way to look at it.
Echo Fighters in Smash should have been alternate costumes. That's my hot take for the day.
Why is it 2 Nobinagas? What the hell?
It's the same class too, is it?
Yeah, it's just the same. This is weird. So Nero would make, almost guaranteed to be the one.
But Nobunaga really wants to be in the game.
The only real competition that Nero has for that role for the Saber class would be Mordred.
Yeah, the second staple.
Yeah, I feel like Nero would have to be the one, because while you could argue Mordred is the fate of Apocrypha, even though she doesn't really do that much.
You mean the face of Apocrypha?
Nero... Yeah, Nero is the face of, I think, like the second biggest part of the franchise, unless you consider Prisma Elite to be bigger than Extra.
I mean, or Grand Order.
Well, that's just one game. I guess you could say
Grand Order is insane how big
either
it is.
way.
Oh, speaking of, do we want to put Mosh as the staple for other?
I mean, well, like I said, like there are 2 servants for the other category who are pretty much shoo-ins, especially if we're going off actual popularity.
There's Mash.
I don't know if we would pick them necessarily, but
I would definitely put
her.
Mash in there. She's like 3 to the left from where your mouse is.
Oh right.
Yeah, but no, I would absolutely put her in. No contest.
And that's the other character.
Yeah, I like Jean. Oh, you really just did.
It's just so obvious.
You really just did Jalter like that? No, it's fine. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't know why Japan loves the evil Jean d'Arc.
Yeah.
Without making the pun, Jean d'Arc.
Oh my god.
But
yeah, no, it's insane.
I've seen like 4 versions of it. It's wild.
So onto Ryder. If we're again talking about staples, that's obviously one of the bigger picks. It could also be Francis Drake.
Ooh, yes.
I struggle actually to say Iskandar, because while he was big, he just never felt as big as the other staples we have.
Yeah, I love Iskandar. I think if we do a DLC selection, he would probably make it in if he doesn't make the base thing.
Yeah, strangely, I think Francis is more recognizable.
I also think it's funny how a lot of the big Ryder characters have pink hair.
Yeah.
Because we have Astolfo,
like there's Queen
we have
Neb.
Francis Drake, yeah, and the OG, of course.
Oh my
Medusa.
god, Medusa.
The question is, do we want Medusa in there?
I definitely do, but that's my simp energy.
I feel like she's enough of a staple. I mean, she's kind of... I consider her the true heroine of Heaven's Feel.
That's pretty accurate.
And she's also in Extra and Extella and Grand Order, and she has several alts. I mean, I think Heracles is like the only... I think him and Kojiro are the only ones from Stay Night who don't have any alts yet.
Yeah.
But she has a few.
Yeah, Sakura is really only the heroine, like, by definition, because she's the romance for the Heaven's Feel route, but Ryder had more to do outside of, becoming the villain, so...
Have to scrap Arthur, unfortunately, though he would obviously be a good costume for Artoria.
Yeah.
And here's an obvious caster. How do we forget Da Vinci? Come on.
That's true. She's the icon of Grand Order. Right, also, Grand Order has, like, 3 different
Da Vincis.
Yeah. I like the OG, though. I don't know why they made her into a not lolly.
And that's the version they used for the summer version, because...
Shoot me.
Yeah. Let's find a gunner class servant to shoot us. Assassin.
Yeah, we still need a staple for assassin. There's so many Hassans. It's like...
I feel like if you were picking assassins, at least like the original Hassan probably wouldn't make it. Kojiro definitely wouldn't, which means that one of the classes that has 2 servants in it in the original story wouldn't be represented.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have either of its characters because they're far better characters. Oh, we can agree on this, right?
Lolly Jack.
We have to get rid of Strange Fake Jack as well, because he doesn't have a physical form.
I don't see many Strange Fake originals making the list except Enkidu.
Yeah, and that's mainly because, one, the connection to an existing very popular character, Gil, and two, Grand Order.
And being legitimately popular in their own right. It's actually rather impressive. Back on the topic of assassins, though, I'm struggling to think of one. I really am. Other than him.
I feel like we have to have a Hassan. We have to have one. Each one, I feel, has a good enough reason to be. They've all got their own unique gimmicks. Got the original, we've got the big, massive one, the true original.
Hassan of 1,000 Faces.
Yeah, which you can do some cool stuff with, like clones and stuff. Honestly, I feel like for that alone, because of the interesting gameplay options.
Hassan of 1,000 Faces would be the Arakune of this game.
Yeah.
Arakune.
You could probably throw in the others as part of like the Noble Phantasm super move. They just show
That's
up, because
fair,
why
yeah.
not? I mean, they kind of do that in Grand Order anyway, I think, where when you're fighting against them during the story, they just throw in like, oh, here's just Fist Man and Poison Girl, just to make up numbers. They're not all literally the same person.
Ryder's already up to 3.
I think we should try and get 2 staples each, if we can, then go for some weird picks.
Okay.
So we need another Saber, another Lancer, another Assassin. Yo, Julius Caesar, yo.
Get him out of here. My argument for Saber is going to be my personal favorite, Siegfried. I desperately want him to be in a game other than Grand Order.
Just play Soul Calibur.
Shut up!
Where the hell is he? See, the thing is, this isn't even the biggest one, because the one I was going to use is the one that has all the fake characters.
Oh my god.
Including, like, non-servants, and that was absurd. Where are you, Siegfried? Oh, no, it falls to me. Ah, here he is, down at the bottom. So I'm thinking Scarhark is maybe one of the must-haves for Lancer.
You know me, or actually, I guess you don't. I would not argue that whatsoever. Other than Medusa, she's my top waifu, so I absolutely want her in there.
I just worry a bit because like a lot of the Celtic ones are Lancers, and a lot of the Lancers are Celtic.
I don't even care. I'm okay with that sacrifice.
We could probably get rid of Finn McCool though.
Yeah. The question is,
Scotty,
yeah.
Kojiro.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I think we have to have Musashi.
We'll come back to that one, but I would debate that, honestly. I got nothing against her, but I would debate choosing her over other potential options.
One of the issues is that this thing doesn't have the new characters from Samurai Remnants. If it did, I would put her in the Berserker class for sure. We still could, really. We can just say this represents the Berserker version, because she's fundamentally the same character.
I mean, regardless. The other option, if you want to fill out the sabers, that I would put is Altera.
Young Altera, yeah. No.
But what the fuck?
No. But rather than Altera, I would much rather have Charlie. Girl Charlemagne.
I would rather have Altera. So, there's a debate to be had, I guess.
Okay, we can bring them both up here. Save that for later.
Okay.
Are there any other Berserkers you particularly would want to put in?
That I would want to put in. Now that I'm on the spot, I can't think of anything. So I'm gonna pull up my copy of Fate Grand Order and see if I have any Berserker servants that stick out to me.
One of the fun characters is Vlad, because this one version of Vlad has been both Berserker and Lancer.
Oh yeah.
So he could go for either class.
Yeah.
Not the one who's down bad for the Clussy. I mean the real one from Apocrypha.
Yeah.
Who's like, God damn it, I'm not Dracula.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, the Giga Chad one.
The one who looks like the Castlevania version.
Yeah, the Giga Chad one.
So here's a question. Liz, does Liz make the roster?
Does Liz make the roster? It would be hilarious if both of Nero's sworn rivals make the list and she doesn't.
It would.
I'm not sure yet, though.
I'm kind of over Liz. I mean, I never liked her that much. I did start to warm up to her a bit, but then when I was going through the Halloween stuff, all consecutively, and it's like...
Liz. I'm
like, no, fuck it. Liz can get in the sea. I'm putting Carmilla in. Carmilla's going to be one of our characters. Yep, she can be our assassin. She can have a Liz costume just to spite Liz. Get her out of here.
Okay.
And then Nero's off to the side agreeing, saying Umu.
Oh goody.
I'm like, yes. I'm rather fond of Lu Bu. That's mainly just because I liked Lu Bu already as like a figure from elsewhere, like in Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
So
It's Lu Bu!
Lu Bu only actually stands out as a character from what I've seen in Extella, where in one of his endings he's thinking, I'm going to overthrow Tamamo, and Tamamo's like, aha, yes, you're doing very well fighting for my side, and everyone else can say, no, he's going to overthrow you. And then he just imagines Chen Gong saying, no, wait, bide your time.
Yeah. Who do we have in that class already? Oh, we already have 3 people. Okay.
This one goes to Lancer, so there is the option. You can go either way. I'm going to put him in the Master category for now, because it's like someone to consider for later. Same with Lu Bu. So for now, this is the temporary field for now before we put the Master in.
Because other than Hercules, who's the obvious choice, like the more I think about it, the more it's like incredibly weird that he's probably not going to make the list.
Now here's another question for you. Do we want to have Ereshkigal Girl? I forget. I'm playing the story she's in right now, and I forget her name. The
Ishtar?
Yes. Or Tosaka herself in the masterclass. Like, which of these is going to make the cut? Because we're not going to have multiple characters with Rin Tosaka's face. I know a lot of fans would want that, but this is not Dragon Ball FighterZ. We don't do things that way.
Alright, then I want Master Rin. I want the OG.
Hell yeah. So because she's not on here, I'm going to use...
Yeah, use Ishtar.
The one whose name you just said and I forgot already. Yes, we'll use her as the stand-in for it.
That's fine.
Likewise, I'm also going to say it's not an actual icon, but this is.
Oh yeah, Shiro.
And some people are going to go, hang on, Shiro and Emiya, same character. They are dramatically different characters.
Yeah, like come on, guys. You all know that we know. Don't try to pull that off.
Although then some people would say, well, what about Artoria, Saber, and Lancer played very differently? Wouldn't Shiro and Emiya play very similarly? And that is a fair point, I'll give you that.
Here's the deal. Shiro and Archer interact in the media they're in. Saber and Saber Alter don't. Checkmate.
I am willing to make the concession and put Shiro as the Echo Fighter for Emiya in the Archer class, if we can find another master character to go here, because the actual master characters very rarely stand out.
Kiritsugu?
Yeah.
What's the idea here with the masters anyway? You pick a servant and then you pick a master, and the master has unique abilities, or they add and take away stats from the selected fighter or something?
No, they're just playable.
Oh, okay.
That is a decent way you could approach it, is just have a master and it's more like a cameo fighter in a way.
I understand, okay, yeah.
But I feel like I'd rather play as Kiritsugu than have him just pop in every now and then and shoot people.
Yeah. Look, I'm just gonna say it. Hercules should be the last Berserker. I can't think of anyone else. It might seem way too obvious, but, like, who else is gonna fill that slot? Like, be completely honest with me.
You know, my boy down here from Spartacus, he's got to make the roster.
No.
In the no section. Yeah, I feel
exactly.
like I
called it.
I really can't think of anyone else.
Yeah, and there's ways to incorporate that ability. Like, it could be like what Yang does in BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, where she gets like a burst of life on her last like 20% of HP.
Maybe it's like for every super move Pip he's got, he can get a revive, but you can only do it up to 9 times.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything crazy with it. But that still leaves us with one more slot for Berserker, apparently.
Yeah, and that just depends on where we're going to put Vlad, because this...
Yeah.
We should start looking into Lances,
okay, so if we don't put Vlad there, then Lu Bu is definitely going there, because he's actually in another game, so I can't really think of anyone else that could take his place.
It comes down to how many other Lancers.
Yeah, because the only other character who I think could be potentially interesting as a playable character is Beowulf.
He left zero impression on me, so I can't really say that I would put him in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'm just saying he's the only other one I can think of that would be potentially interesting. And now that I'm looking, Semiramis Assassin?
I was thinking the same, to be
honest.
honest.
How did we not? Oh my god. This is literally just a classic case of stage fright. Now that we're here and we're talking about it, our brains have just shut off.
In Saber, we have Artoria, Siegfried, Musashi for now, and then Altera or Charlie we'll discuss later.
Well, we could take out Musashi potentially. Like, all 3 of them are up for debate right now. It's just me personally, I think Altera shouldn't be.
I know it's kind of dumb, but I feel like having both new OC Sabers from the 2 Extella games seems a bit much.
Okay, then take out Charlemagne. I want my waifu.
But we don't want to have just women. I mean, the roster is largely women. I know that's how Fate is generally, but we do want to have
Siegfried
some.
right there.
We want to have some kind of balance here.
I know Siegfried has feminine hips, but he is right there. He's got massive, massive chest, very manly.
We'll come back to that.
Okay.
For now,
You want to go back to Lancers?
yeah, because if we can't find any more, we can just put Vlad in there, and then
Okay,
Lubu can go in Berserker.
Well, obviously, Enkidu is a contender.
Yeah. There aren't many other characters I can really think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, and especially in the Babylonian mythology, we already ruled out the others. There's no Ishtar, there's no Ereshkigal, so the only other option to rep alongside Gil in his myth is Enkidu.
Ah, there we go. What also makes it harder to find them is that if you can see someone a bunch of times, but then as you remove some before them, they get moved around. You're like, no, I don't know where they've gone now.
Yeah.
Ah, we need to find Nita Chris as well. Is this
Oh,
her?
that's right. No, that is Queen of Sheba.
Ah.
Strangely, I've gotten them confused too. Oh my god, Rider, Ushiwakamaru.
I didn't realise she was a rider class.
Yeah, she's Rider.
I would assume she'd be a Saber, but clearly she's a popular one. She's one of the characters who made it into Melty Blood,
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
she was in the Babylonia Grand Order anime as a fairly prominent character.
I also rather like Penthesilea for Berserker. She's a temp. 'Cause I also think you could do something really great with her, because she has that whole Amazoness.com thing. That's like a parody of Amazon, but you could make it that's a special pre-order bonus costume if you pre-order from Amazon.
Yeah, that's fair. I just don't know that much about her.
Yeah, so we'll hold off for now. I like Achilles as well, so I'll put him in Rider as a temp for now. I think this is how we should just be doing it anyway, just putting the characters in here and just say, we'll go through later and figure out who to axe. Li Shuwen as an assassin is a decent pick.
We still have Medea right there. Might as well throw her in.
Yeah,
If we're going to be altering these later anyway, we might as well throw in every potential.
should have been doing this from the start. Li Shuwen for assassin.
I definitely think Nobunaga is a potential addition to the roster.
Yeah, for Archer. What do you think of this guy making it in?
I don't want him.
Damn, was shot down.
No, I don't want the guy who likes children.
That's the Fate creative. So, got him. It's technically cheating because we might have Lubu, but I think Red Hair is a really weird and out there pick.
I mean, weird and out there is fun. Like I said, Arakune from Blaze Blue.
Like Thorny's Arcade says, you gotta have the freaks.
Yeah, you do. Oh, Caster, I found one. I can't remember her name though. Bottom right.
Oh, Sanzang?
Yes.
Good pick. And I've just thought of another character that we could have for Caster or for Masters. Zhuge aka Waver.
Yeah, I would put him as a master personally.
Well, he did have his own spin-off series.
Yeah.
And then having him and Tosaka in the master category makes sense because they have the whole Grail dismantling war thing together.
Yeah. Everybody forgets that. Those two just straight up dismantled the Grail and ended the Grail Wars.
Well, the reason people forget that is because they've not actually told that story yet. It's just like, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they'll ever tell that story, so...
Next year would be the time for the 20th anniversary.
Throw Gilgamesh in there somehow because he's in everything.
Yeah.
The only character more saturated than him is Saber, but it's crazier in his case because it's usually the same version.
Well, we actually have enough for each slot, really. Now it's just a case of, this is a character I might like to see included. We can just throw him up there.
Let's look at other. I'm going to immediately name Kiara,
Oh, okay.
the Happy Fun Times Nun.
I really can't think of any other character on here that I would say. I mean, there are some that aren't on here, like I said with the latest game, Samurai Remnant. That Saber is one of my favourites, so I would put them on there, but they're not on here, so we're just not going to.
I haven't seen pretty much anything having to do with Samurai Remnant except for a design for Gilgamesh.
Oh yeah, he's the ruler version.
Yeah, I forgot he has a ruler version now. I think it was already implied he could be a ruler. We just never saw it until Samurai Remnant.
Oh, here's another one that's a rather popular
Yeah,
character.
yeah, Karna.
I personally wouldn't put him on, but
I wouldn't either, but it could be cool because we have Siegfried on there.
true. Why is that the way cooler rivalry than the one he actually has from his source material?
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, Arjuna is fucking boring.
Yeah, I don't even like him. Alcides, I think we can just put straight in no.
Who?
The strange fake version of Hercules.
I don't even know what that character looks like.
He's the first one on the list right now.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, that's the one from Strange Fake that everybody thought for the longest time could just F Gil up because of what happened in their first fight.
I think it'd be good to actually see some of these characters showing up in Grand Order once that anime gets properly underway.
Having Alcides in there would actually be really cool. Overrated as I think he is. Oh, there's the protagonist from Strange Fake too. I believe he's a Saber, so we throw him up there too as a potential. So
It's a matter of finding a balance between these are the popular characters people want to see, and these are the characters we want to see. Because I'm sure a lot of people will be like, yo, I want my Hikikomori waifu. I'm like, I don't.
yeah.
I don't.
Hey, let me figure this out.
She's just cringe.
Is this roster supposed to be, if this fighting game existed, this is who we would expect to see, or is this our fan roster for who we would want to be in the game, if it was a thing?
Somewhere in between. There's some characters where it's like, I wouldn't necessarily put Gil on there
You motherfucker!
because I don't care for Gil that much, but he is a very popular character, so it would make sense to put him on there.
I got way too aggressive, I apologize.
Nah, it's amusing content. I like Scheherazade. She's the character of mine in Grand Order that gets used by other players the most.
I like her. I don't think I have her yet, actually. Let me look. But yeah, you could definitely put her up there as a potential caster. I'm not going to argue that.
I'm just not really seeing anyone else that I would say I would really consider.
So you said no alternate Saber faces. So that means you wouldn't consider Cleopatra?
She's a saber face? What?
No. That was unrelated to the Saber face comment.
Oh. Yeah, you could put Cleo on there. Yeah. She's in my unreleased fanfic. So I don't have a problem with her.
Oh no, you wrote a Fate fanfic. You're wild. That's a whole different dimension. Fate is so complicated, I wouldn't even try.
It is daunting, the prospect of getting something wrong and being set upon by the Fate fans.
Yeah. There's Hans Christian Andersen. He's fairly popular as a caster. I don't know what he'd do for a fighting style, though. Ozymandias? I struggle with that, though, for the same reasons. Like, what would he do? Like, summon animals?
I also don't really care for him as a character, because to me, he just feels like Egyptian Gilgamesh. I don't know why.
On the surface, yeah, that's pretty fair.
I like Okuta as well, but really is just Artoria in Japanese clothes.
Yeah. Oh, how about the person next to her?
Sure. I should remember her name.
Florence.
Yes,
Florence Nightingale.
Only one of the most famous characters in Fate from where I'm from. And I'm just...
Missing out on your own lore.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's all the ones I would really consider.
Let me look through it again real quick.
I'd like to include that character they added somewhat recently, like the big muscle waifu, but I can't remember. Zenobia. I don't think she's on here.
5th row from the bottom. Go to Ilya and put her in Master.
Ooh.
I said put her in Master.
No.
What? What do you mean? Why wouldn't you have her as a Master?
Because lollies.
All we have is Rin and Waver.
And Waver's a way better character.
Okay, I'm not saying it's the weird version of Ilya. I would prefer the Stay Night version.
Okay, I can put her there for now.
Why is this a debate? Like, for now. What do you mean for now?
Until I hijack this entire thing and assert my will and just get rid of all your picks. Goodbye, Gilgamesh.
No! Oh, how about Sakura? Do we want to put Sakura in Master?
No.
No?
No. Like I said, she's not even really the heroine of her own roots.
That one is more fair, yeah. Like, maybe we could do the Black Grail version, but...
Like, the most interesting things they ever did with her, it's all in the anime stuff, was when Studio Dean put her in that weird Dead or Alive bondage ninja outfit.
Yeah. Oh, we still need... Wait, what the fuck? Yeah, I remember that.
No, here's the what the fuck was in Carnival Phantasm, where they had a whole joking episode about Ryder trying to protect her from Shinji, and they make jokes about the fact that he has done that thing to her multiple times. They make jokes about it, and it's like, hang on, what?
That's Fate for you.
Let's not put her in there. Let's leave Sakura, have the better character, the superior Fate cast.
Yeah, let's put Sakura as, like, I don't know, the shopkeeper in one of the menus or something.
Oh, she can just be like BB, just in the background.
Oh, we need one more person for Archer.
We do, yeah, because I just realized. So we do need another Archer, yes.
Yeah, and that was the debate for why we didn't put Shiro there. But we only have 3 people in Master, so I think Shiro could go there. His fighting style is unique enough, like, from Archer. Even though it's literally the same skill set. It's actually crazy how different they are, like, fighting-wise, despite the fact that their moves are exactly the same.
There's an argument to be made for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, Saber. So we've got 6 contenders. Artoria, Siegfried, Musashi, Altera, Charlie, and Richard.
As much as I don't want to take Siegfried out, I would understand if he wasn't. He hasn't been in any game outside of Grand Order. But I definitely don't want to see him go, and I don't want to see Altera go. Those are my top picks, aside from Saber. Like, Saber's not going anywhere. We're literally calling her Saber!
So, why are you so protective of Altera?
Because I've played way too much Extella, and I'm really into her character.
Ah.
And she's also very prominent in both of the Extella games, as well as the opening chapter of Grand Order. I think she has enough under her belt that she deserves to be there. More than Musashi, honestly. That doesn't mean I think that Musashi necessarily should go, though. If
we can drop Richard because his thing isn't really fully complete yet, so I have no idea what he can do.
Yeah,
the current anime production is his summoning is the final scene of that special, so...
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say Richard first. Like, definitely doesn't need to be there. And then it's just a debate between Musashi and Charlemagne for me.
Yeah, Altera kind of is the face of Extella.
Yeah.
I think Musashi would probably be better mechanically. While you could move Musashi down to Berserker, look how many Berserkers we've got. I feel like it's more likely that she'll stay here.
I also think more people would recognize her than Charlemagne.
Yeah.
So I think Charlemagne can go.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe for the DLC route he could come back, but for now, the core roster, this is our 4 Sabers. I think that's a good selection, and it represents like a wide variety of the franchise we've got.
Actually, yeah.
We have Stay Night, Apocrypha, Extra, and Extella,
yeah,
and Grand Order. Without even trying to do that, we've got a good selection.
Yeah. The Sabers are actually very well balanced.
The only question now is it going to be Nero or Mordred making it in as the alternate costume for Artoria?
Oh, Nero.
Yeah. Mordred can be a recolor.
Or DLC.
Possibly.
Maybe we can make like a DLC tier and put like 7 characters in there, 1 for each class.
I do plan to, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But for now, we're going to focus on the core roster.
Yeah, let's go. Wait, we could either move on to Lancer, or we could go to Berserker to see if we can narrow out the characters so we can figure out where we want to put Vlad.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, let's go to Berserker then. Our staples are Fran and Lancelot.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere. And to be honest, I don't see Hercules going anywhere either. It's going to very heavily promote the OG series.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if I had to pick one to take out, despite the fact that he's been in more games, I would probably choose Lancelot over Hercules to get removed. Not that I want him to go, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. There is room, of course, with the debate of how much of a part of the roster should certain groups of characters take. Like, obviously, it's like with Smash. Mario deserves to have a large contingent of the roster because it's Mario. It's the guy.
Yeah.
Likewise, Stay Night and the Arthurian cast deserve more than the others because that's what Fate is.
Yeah.
When you get down to it. It's fine having, like, more of these types of characters.
Yeah, but it's strange that I'm more willing to debate Lancelot leaving the roster entirely than I am, like, Fran, because Fran is from Apocrypha, and Lancelot is essentially from the same continuity as Hercules, even though it's technically a completely different series.
It's because he has cool abilities.
Oh, he has amazing abilities. But I'm more willing to debate him leaving than Fran.
Okay, I included this character here just because she's very popular. She's like the big titty lady, but I really don't care for her at all.
Yeah, well, we don't have the Oni, and we don't have Sakata.
So it becomes a question of should she stand in as a representative of all that stuff, or remove it because we don't have the other characters?
I'd take her out.
Yeah. So that...
To the movies.
I'd remove Nightingale, personally.
I would take out... What's her name? The person next to her? Yeah, I would take her out before I took out Florence, personally. Nothing against her, it's just a question of recognizability.
Yeah, you don't want to have just the big names. You want to have some smaller names to help prop them up as well, so...
Okay.
There's a debate to be made on either way.
Let me think.
Is that wise?
Based on that, yeah, Florence can go. We can take her out, and then I think the debate comes down to Lancelot, Lu Bu, and what's her name? Cainus?
Penthesilea.
Antisilea. Antisilea, Lu Bu, and Lancelot.
Penthesilea.
That's why I said Antisilea.
Why are you saying it wrong? What are you doing? What is this bit?
Are you fucking with me?
Her name starts with a P.
A P?
Penthesilea.
I did not hear a single P from you.
How? What?
Penthesilea, or Penthesilea,
Yes.
Lu Bu, and Lancelot. Those three are the ones that are up for debate removing. I've explained why I'd be willing to see Lancelot go, even though I don't want to see him go. Lu Bu was in both of the Extella games.
And extra as well.
And extra, yeah. So he might have more staying power than Lancelot just based on that.
Let's go through Ryder, because one of the Ryders technically is Lu Bu, so maybe it won't feel as bad to drop Lu Bu.
I don't even know who that is. He'd be my first pick to remove.
That is Lu Bu's horse, and it is a big, bold centaur man, and it's the only female-to-male gender swap in all of Fate, I'll have you know.
Get rid of it. For every reason you just said, especially the last one. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so
I swear I'm kidding.
So we're definitely keeping Drake and Astolfo.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, yeah, the ones that I would keep are literally the first four on the list. That's just me.
Definitely drop Achilles, because we've already got the Apocrypha rep.
Yeah, it'll actually be kind of hilarious. There will be no male writers.
Personally, I would keep Iskandar in. It seems neither of us are willing to go to bat for Quetzal.
No. Nothing against Quetzal, but compared to the other five, no.
And then...
So you want to keep Iskandar. I don't want to get rid of any of the other four. But yeah, I would honestly debate Astolfo just because of the five of them. He's probably my least favorite.
You have a lot of people going to be mad at you. Oh, wait. So... so you were thinking, oh, if we get rid of Iskandar, there are no male riders.
Oh yeah, yeah, good point.
This man literally has a penis.
Yeah,
like,
good.
What,
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, good point. I don't know. I don't know how I didn't catch that.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I can just click off to get the thing down. Okay. How's that for a compromise? Would you pay money for Iskandar?
Would I? Probably not. I already have all the characters I want in here.
Would you pay money for Ushi?
Yeah. Yeah, I would. Great. Yeah, I can live with that.
Hell yeah. Probably the 5 best picks for Ryder. Some people go, oh...
I'm about to get canceled over the Astolfo thing, I swear to God. I totally forgot he was a dude for some reason.
Well, I can list several reasons.
The design...
Would you like a list?
The design threw me off so bad. I became delirious. I knew full well that Astolfo, the Fate character, was a dude. But I looked at that photo, and it did not click with me that that was Astolfo for some reason.
It took me a while as well. Most people do forget that Astolfo is a guy. Usually it's willful forgetfulness. Not in this case. It was a genuine accident. Please don't cancel us for forgetting
Cancel me! You didn't make that error. I did.
I was just quiet about it. So let's go to Caster.
Okay.
So I feel like Tamamo is a must.
Tamamo, absolutely.
I mean, the fact that they're still making new versions of her, like Tamamo Aria and whatnot, because the whole Tamamo 9 thing, they're still doing it. So
I would say that Tamamo and Da Vinci are the must-stays. They're not going anywhere. Not debatable. I don't even want to see Merlin on the roster. I cannot explain to you why. Well, I guess I kind of can. The only thing I know about him, or the only thing that anybody ever talks about with him, is the penis joke. Ha ha ha, he gave Artoria a penis at one time.
yeah,
I don't like him because of that. Like, that's all he is to me, is just the penis jokes.
what if we replace him with Femme Merlin? Nah, just take him off the roster.
I would 100% go for that. No reason.
I'd like to see Sanzang stay, because she really helped me out during the couple of battles I used her in Camelot. She's very good moveset-wise.
She's a great character, too, and I think she has more recognizability than Scheherazade.
Yeah, it's just a question of, do we drop Scheherazade or Medea?
We could put Medea, or Schehera, I don't know how to pronounce it, as DLC.
I'd probably...
I would pay for Medea. That's my answer.
Yeah, you want to have like a Stay Night character in the DLC.
Yeah,
I don't know why it just makes sense to me.
Yeah, but it would make sense to eventually have the whole Stay Night cast through DLC.
Yeah.
Eventually. And we're still stuck on the Berserker debate. Here, let me end it. I would pay for Lancelot 110%.
That is a fair point. Okay. I'll remove him then.
All right. And you get to keep your 2 picks for Berserker. Or I guess your 3.
I mean, you say that as if you didn't immediately agree with Fran.
I agreed, but you were the one who thought of her as a mainstay. I wouldn't have. Honestly, I wouldn't have even thought of it. It was like, as soon as you brought it up, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Look, if they have a swimsuit alt, then they are a mainstay.
I hate how accurate that is.
I mean, was swimsuit for Julius Caesar? No. A swimsuit for Kojiro? No.
Yeah.
Medea, I'm pretty sure, probably has one. I know Artoria does. Jean, I've used hers a lot. She summons dolphins. It's wild.
Yeah, that's insane. So where are we on right now? Assassin?
Okay. Yeah. So,
Who is the guy with the glasses?
Li Shuen.
Oh.
He also appears in...
Oh my
It's funny
god, another
'cause
one we forgot about.
Because he used to look like this
Yeah.
as an assassin, but that design's for the Lancer version now. Well, the assassin version is the old man version.
What?
It does make more sense.
I wouldn't put him in there at all with that design, personally. It probably makes more sense, but there's like zero recognizability, as I just demonstrated.
What if we use the younger version as he was in Face Extra? The younger version as an assassin?
And Extella. He was in Extella, I think.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, I could probably see that. He's more recognizable, much more popular. As for who we would put out, and I'm assuming we're just going to put whoever we take out as DLC, I would pay for Semiramis, I would pay for Carmilla, and I would pay for Cleopatra. So any of those three I'd be okay with taking out and putting in as DLC. But I think it would make more sense to put either Carmilla or Cleo in as DLC than Semiramis.
Oh, for sure. Semiramis is just... She really is one of the standout characters in Apocrypha, so it makes sense to keep her in the core roster.
Absolutely.
The DLC just started to become a bit of a weird thing, which like, I would pay for these characters, but not this character. And so the potentially less good character makes it onto the base roster.
It makes sense, though. Yeah, it's how you get more attention on said characters. It's a good method, I think.
I feel like Kiara just makes the most sense being the other DLC character.
Oh, absolutely. Kiara is very popular, but it's honestly just weird to have her on the main cast of a fighting game.
Especially in place of these two.
Yeah.
Jean and Mash,
Yeah.
like...
I
come
honestly
on.
would have her as like a boss or something. But as a playable character, DLC makes the most sense.
Granddaughter even often promotes itself with Jean, Mash, and Artoria. Like, they're the three faces of the franchise at this point.
Yeah.
So then for the masses, we're gonna have Rin, Waver, or Elia as DLC.
The only one of the three I wouldn't pay for is Waver. No particular reason. I just like the other two more.
I feel like if you're going to be purely cynical, you would absolutely put Elia as DLC because people would pay for that.
Yeah, she's very popular, especially thanks to Prisma. Which,
Ooh, actually,
it depresses me that that's the reason that she's so popular.
we do it this way with these two characters on the base roster because this can be the Grail Summoning War game. The Grail Dismantling War, rather.
Oh my god.
So that's what this story is.
Oh yeah, let's get this out of the way real quick. If this Fate fighting game was made, which company would you want to make it? I already have my answer, Lock and Key. So what's yours?
I reckon most people would look at it and go, oh, it absolutely has to be Arc System Works. And that is a good pick.
That is correct. Arc System Works. As far as I'm concerned, only one that could do it justice.
I would like NetherRealm Studios.
No! No! They're gonna cover everyone up. They're gonna redesign and cover everyone up except for like Gilgamesh. They're gonna give him a weird like stripper strap on his neck at the top of his chest.
And Gilgamesh's entire character is like, I will make Sumeria great again. And he's like, no!
I like how we just immediately equated him to Shao Kahn.
And then it's like, oh yes, Artoria was evil all along. Saber alters her true form. And it's like, NetherRealm, I'm going to burn your office down with no one in
Oh
it.
my
Swear to
god, no. And they would use the Lancer version, let's be honest. Well, for the evil queen like gimmick, they do
Oh yeah,
Lancer.
'cause she got the big tits.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is how NetherRealm conducts things. Damn.
The only ones we have left to debate are the 3 knight classes. What are the odds?
Yeah. So no, we've done Saber because she's not actually a character.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Zero's not a character. Shiro can be a character, or depending on whether we keep. You know what? I'm willing to put Robin Hood in DLC
If you want.
and put Shiro in. Shiro. But then is this cheating? Is it cheating to put Shiro as an archer servant when he's not a servant?
Absolutely. I thought he should have.
know what?
I thought he should have gone in as a
Yeah.
master from the beginning. It's either that or the alternate skin that we talked about. That's probably why he's even up there.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
It is, yeah. We've been going at this for so long that we've just forgotten everything.
Yeah. Wait a minute. That means that we already have our 4 for art, so the only one we're debating is where Vlad goes.
Yeah, does fuck it, Karna can be DLC, Vlad can stay on the roster.
That's fair.
Honestly, these DLC characters do seem like the kind of characters you would pick as DLC.
That is actually an amazing DLC roster. Holy shit.
So now we just need to pick a DLC Saber, a DLC Archer. That's it, just those two.
My pick for DLC Saber is Mordred. What is yours?
Charlie.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Mordred.
So I think in terms of like gameplay style, how different could she really be from Artorias?
Very. You would be surprised. Like, yeah, they both have big laser beam, but there's a lot of nuances to the way that they fight that would make them feel very distinct. I imagine Mordred as being more of a aggressive rushdown type character, and Saber would be like much more like balanced.
And I'll give you the most important reason why Mordred would be a good fit for the roster is that she can have a victory animation where a cat runs past and she does the cat. So she can be our DLC Saber.
Yes, I win. I win.
I was thinking, didn't I put Robin Hood in DLC? Yes, but then I put him back. So we need a DLC Archer. How about Detroit?
No. Why is no one like gone crazy over that? That is a pale Asian dude basically like doing blackface. Why is no one upset about that?
Cultural differences, my friend.
No, I mean like why is no one in the West upset about it?
Yeah, cultural differences. It's okay. They did it.
What?
So to pick out a few characters some characters who would have a decent shot of being DLC. I feel like Artemis would be a decent shot of getting DLC as an archer. This lady, the animal lady.
Oh yeah,
whatever her name is.
How do we not know what her name is? Hold up. It's not Atalanta. No, it's not Atalanta. I don't think. Yes, it is Atalante. E at the end. Atalante. Or maybe it's Atalante.
Nikola Tesla seems like he'd be a pretty popular pick.
Somehow. I personally don't get it.
No.
What are other Archer options? Oh, Tristan.
I don't like Tristan. Even though he's one of my mains, because he's one of my highest level characters, I don't like him as a character, because my proper introduction to him was the weird, twisted version.
Yeah, that's fair. He was always kind of obnoxious to me story-wise.
He's like the king. The king does not understand humans' hearts. I'm like, you fucking take that back. You do not insult my wife like that, you son of a bitch.
That was accurate, though. That was like the whole point of her character arc in Stay Night.
But you're not supposed to say it.
I guess unless you're a greedy, pretentious asshole, you're not allowed to say it.
You know who would be the DLC Archer? Arjuna.
Oh, that actually makes sense.
I'm reluctant to do it, but there generally isn't that much of a good selection. Otherwise.
Well, let's narrow it down through our usual process. Would you pay for said character? The only one of these options I would pay for is Atalante.
Straight up, yeah. I can see other people would pay for.
Oh no, absolutely. Like
I don't think anyone would pay for Tesla.
Yeah. Like more people like Arjuna than we do.
People would pay for big titty lady with the teddy bear who like has but the dynamic is just terrible. It's just he's a bit of a perv, so then she beats him up.
Yeah.
The only thing I like about it is the fact that he will shut her down at certain points. He's like, no, you still shut your mouth, you stupid bitch, and we'll slap her tits, and she'll go, ang. Like that's it. The fact he does stand up for himself, which is very different from what you normally see in Japan. But honestly, yes, this is our true Archer DLC character. So we just need to get the other Cardinal classes to have the Echo Fighters, if we can.
Oh, we want to set up Echoes?
Yeah, I'd like to have one for each. I think... Oh, no, actually. Instead of other Vlad, Diarmuid with Scarhack's moveset.
Yeah, I could see that. A couple of things might have to change a bit, like if they have special attacks, but yeah, that works.
The only other option would be Clussy Vlad or Finn McCool.
Yeah.
AKA Fionn McCumhale. I feel like Diarmuid is just a way better character.
Absolutely. Diarmuid is awesome. The fact that we didn't consider him at all is shocking.
Because we already had Ku, and it's like the kind of archetype is already taken.
Yeah, that's fair.
Caster. I don't think anyone really stands out immediately as this would be the obvious one for them.
That could be the way we put Gilderay in, but I still don't want him in, so...
I can't think of which character he would actually be the thing for, so... You know what we could do is we could take out one of these characters and put in Medea, and then have Medea Lily as the Echo.
That's too easy.
Oh, we still have Nita Crease. I don't think she's even on here.
There's no way she's not on here.
That's so strange. Even before I got to actually playing Grand Order, I'd seen Nita Crease. She's in a lot of fan art. Like, she's a really popular character.
Yeah.
It's insane that she's not
Yeah, I don't
here.
see her. I don't even see the white sheet version. Medjed. or maybe it's pronounced Mejed. I
This is
do
just
not
ridiculous.
see it. We're probably missing out on a lot of other characters too, honestly. But could we put Merlin over any of them?
Well, he has a staff. I feel like you could, as a gag, it could work with Scheherazade. Like, Scheherazade's thing is summoning characters from Arabian Nights tales. So if you just replace them with, like, chibi versions of the Knights of the Round Table.
That would be amazing, actually.
The only issue is the fact that when she's done in a Noble Phantasm, she puts the scroll back between her breasts, and he doesn't have
Nobody
that.
has a big robe.
Or you could make a joke about the fact, it's like, well, if he can give Artori a penis, there's no reason he can't give himself massive breasts just for that one bit.
I don't know why the animation can't just show him slipping it into his big-ass cloak.
It probably would. Or alternatively, you could put female Merlin there, but
Yeah.
I feel like male Merlin is more recognisable. That's one of the things that's a bit of a shame, is that the one part of Fate we've definitely not represented is Prototype.
Yeah.
Because like, what are you supposed to do? Have like Artori with an Arthur costume, but then you have to get rid of Nero?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Echo DLC.
I feel like the most obvious one for Ryder would be Iskandar as a child, or maybe Billy the Kid for Drake.
Oh, because gun, haha.
Yeah, straight up, because there's very little else you can do here. Because Iskandar has a chariot, so you can find another rider with a chariot.
Doesn't Achilles have a chariot, or am I mistaken?
I believe he does. I would have personally gone with my girl down
Oh,
here,
that's a good point.
Boudica, but she does have a sword, whereas Achilles, I think, wields a lance.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I feel like Boudica just because
Yeah.
it's different. All I really need to change is the fact that when he summons all of his soldiers, if you keep the Noble Phantasms the same, just reskinned, she would just summon a bunch of English
Yeah,
peasants.
there you go. Berserker.
That's a tricky one if I ever saw one.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're all pretty distinctive in what they fight with.
You'd be surprised how well you can reskin things. What if we put Ku Kalane Alter over Fran? That would work surprisingly well.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Or this guy from Type Redline. The guy's like, yeah, I'm actually big armored Miyamoto Musashi, and he's just not.
That's
He's
another thing I don't know squat about is Type Redline.
I like the manga. It's very
Oh.
good.
Oh,
Very
okay,
violent.
Cool. Yeah, we love violence in this house.
You see Nazis getting sliced apart.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
quite fun. Plus, with his machinery, I think he would fit the lightning stuff a little better.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, the effects would probably be different.
The hitboxes would be very different too, because he's
Yeah, he's a
very
big
big.
guy.
He's like Heracles size, so
There was something else I was thinking of, but I just lost it. So, it made sense in my head for like a second, and then it completely escaped me. So,
the characters don't necessarily have to fit into the class they are going alongside. It just makes sense if you do it that way.
yeah, I mean, like we've already been doing it that way. Let's not break formula now,
Yeah.
unless we want to like re-alter the entire list.
If you go for Assassin, the obvious thing to do would be to either put Liz in for Carmilla, or to put in Serenity for Hassan.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who could sub over Carmilla.
I think a lot of people would sub over Carmilla, to be honest.
Oh, really? Oh, shut up. If you wanna break the class formula, we could put Saint Martha in there. She's known for swapping hands.
She also has a staff, doesn't she?
Yeah, but that could just be like an accessory.
Because Li Shuwen also has the Lancer version.
Oh, that's
So
true,
if you
yeah.
had him have a couple of Lancer moves.
That's true, yeah.
She'd actually be a really ideal fit for. I know it's a bit odd that she's doing specifically Chinese martial arts, but
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
Why not?
Like she punchy.
I mean, is that really where we draw the line when we have Boudica summoning English peasants and Chibi Knights of the Round Table being thrown around by Merlin, or Shiro as a servant? Like
Yeah.
that where
Now
we
I
draw
think
the
the
line?
echo for other is obvious. Just go ahead, grab
Yeah.
Jalter, and oh no, she's on the no list. She's on the no list. We threw her up there earlier.
Leonidas with the
That
shield.
is what the
Very
what?
obvious.
What the what?
He teaches her how to be a shielder in Babylonia. He teaches her how to use that shield well. It makes sense.
He
No,
has
that's
a big spear. She does not.
I am reluctant to have two of the same character, but it just makes
way
sense.
too much sense. Yeah.
There are very few other options here. The only other option would be to put in an other DLC. Well, we have an
Yeah.
other DLC. Anyway, and then as for Masters, there's not really anything else.
We might just want to add a third master character. Put the FGO Pro Tag in there.
It's not one you'd seek to put in because there's very little to the character. Same with the one from Extra. It's like there's very little to either of these characters. They are fundamentally the same. They are just avatars.
It could be like Pokemon Trainer. Like their whole gimmick is they fight with like other servants. So any servant who didn't make the roster that people want to see in there is part of Fujimaru's moveset.
Or how about instead of that, we put in the one from Extra with Nero backing them up the whole time.
Oh, Hakuno, yeah.
Hakuno with Nero. As far as just doing a skin for one of these, Rin would have a really good selection of costumes because she has normal Rin, you have Extra Rin, then you have...
you have Ishtar and Ereshkigal.
Yeah, they don't throw gems around, but so what? It would look really fun.
Ishtar does in the Babylonia anime, I think. And she actually does do the finger gun in FGO. So, yeah, it actually fits, like, shockingly well. Like, for Ishtar specifically.
The only one I can think of what would actually make sense for an Echo, I don't even know the character's name, but I'm trying to find her. Because I can justify it, I just need to find her image. Where the hell is she? Ah, here we go.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
That's Waver's rival in his show or something, or his apprentice or something. I think she's a rival. But she's also a pseudo-servant of Suma Yi, who is Zhuge Liang's rival. So I imagine there must be some similarities in how they fight.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's our final roster. We have our 4 characters from each Cardinal class, plus a DLC, plus an Echo Fighter, plus the 2 other characters and an Echo, and the 2 Masters and an Echo.
I think we got a pretty solid roster here. If this game came out tomorrow, I'd buy the shit out of it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Honestly, there are a lot more men on the roster than I was expecting.
I love how you counted them off. But yeah, it's kind of depressing that the amount of men in the roster we can count off on 2 hands.
But that's just how fate is.
That is just how fate is. But you know what? It's fine. With DLC, it's both our hands. Like, completely. I think that makes like 10 dudes. Fate is the embodiment of chicks over dicks.
Even though the source material is very much the opposite.
Makes sense given the time they came from.
Yeah, if you look at other historical stuff like Dynasty and Samurai Warriors, most of the characters there, most of the women, are there because they are the wife, or the sister, or the daughter, or mother of someone who is way more important. But you can't just have all guys, you want to have some women on the roster, but there aren't many women you can really pick who are actually that important. And then Fate's like, well, we know how to solve that problem.
Make them women.
I feel like it'd be less egregious if that was the entire core concept from the beginning. If it just was, everyone's a woman, why not?
God, the art. The fan art would be insane.
I guarantee you can easily find fan art of, like, female Ku, female Gil.
Female Gil is really popular. Like, for a while, I believe that she actually existed somewhere.
Yeah, so I think that's a pretty solid roster overall. I think it's a shame we don't have the Samurai Remnant characters, but that probably would have just caused more problems for picking the Saber character.
I'm just gonna say, and I hope I get proven wrong about this someday, I think this is the best fighting game roster for Fate we will ever see.
Yeah, honestly, realistically. I mean, obviously there's always the potential for, here's some really cool brand new characters introduced in like 2028 that we didn't know were going to exist, so it's not our fault.
even if that happens, like just the overall like quality and diversity of the roster, I think is probably going to outdo any official game that comes out. I hope I'm wrong about that. I would love to be wrong about that, but
this is what the Saber contingent would look like.
Fact.
And it's like, they're good characters, but it's just not well balanced.
He probably wouldn't even make DLC.
No, Siegfried just wouldn't make it. No, Sieg would make it.
That makes me angry.
Yeah, because like even for a short amount of screen time, Siegfried is way more interested than Sieg, and Sieg's the main character.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, here's this cool concept, this cool Fate Stay Night versus Fate Zero, basically. And then it's just like, yeah, but what if we just redid Fate Stay Night with less interesting characters? Like, I like Jean, but she's not as interesting as Artoria. Then here's like a less interesting Shiro. And I'm only familiar with Shiro through the anime, so you know how fucking bland a character has to be less interesting than anime Shiro.
And
Holy shit.
And I'm gonna be honest, calling Sieg a less interesting Shiro is an insult to anime Shiro, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. it's very unfortunate.
I've never liked him.
But yeah, I think that's a roster we can be proud of. What do you guys think? Would you change up this character for whoever you want? Would you put Ketzel in? Would you put in Old Man Lee Shuen to prove us wrong? Or would you put in Child Gil just to piss off our honoured guest here? Let us know in the comments so we can tell you why you're wrong. I'd like to thank you for joining us today, Mr. It's Official You Suck.
You stole my ending line. What the fuck?
Oh, fuck. I can edit this out. I won't, but I can.
Okay, well, I'm going to say it anyway. Thank you all for watching. Please check out my channel. I very much appreciate the Fourth Snake letting me on his channel. And to everyone watching, whether you agree or disagree, you suck!